I could ever turn back time and do it all again, you know that I would, you know that I would. And if I could live it every night and do it all again, you know that I would.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because I got my hands on the 2024 iPad Pro 11-inch in the M4 chip. I'll be sharing a mini review on this, why I went from the 12.9-inch to the 11-inch, why I decided to finally upgrade, and just a mini review in general. If you haven't been to my channel yet, welcome. My name is Holly from Life with Holly Lifestyles. I'm so excited to share with you my life as an entrepreneur and my tips and tricks for business. I also share a lot of desk productivity, tech, and lifestyle videos, so if you're interested in any of that or all of that, make sure you subscribe. So let's start with this review. Okay, so we're gonna start with the backstory of what I currently have. I have the 2021 iPad Pro in M1 chip, I believe. The reason why I got this in 2021 was because I wanted something lighter and easier to carry, especially those days when I don't want to bring my MacBook Pro. I could use it for quick emails, I can plan my content on Notion, and other quick little things. But in the end, after using it, it kind of felt like I was still carrying my MacBook Pro, and the size was also pretty similar to my MacBook Pro 14-inch, and it would get super heavy, especially when you're carrying the keyboard with you. And because of the size and the weight, I pretty much didn't really use it as much as I wanted to. It's usually just sitting there mainly as my second monitor. So that's the backstory of my current iPad Pro. So why did I choose to upgrade now? For the iPad Pros, I haven't seen much differences in the past couple of years, but this year I felt like there was a lot of different changes. First off is obviously how thin this new iPad Pro is. In my opinion, being this thin is a little bit scary, but I guess it makes it lighter, which is already a bonus for me. And now they also have OLED screen, which is another kind of upgrade. And they also upgraded all the keyboards and even have a new Apple Pencil, which is the Apple Pencil Pro. So since a lot has been upgraded, I decided this is the time to actually downsize to an 11-inch. I decided to choose the 11-inch because I did want something smaller, as I did mention earlier. I will also continue to test out this size because it is smaller than my 12.9-inch. Since I know that the 13-inch is a little lighter now, I can technically switch to a bigger one if size really did matter. So if you want me to film a 1 month later video, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like this video. But so far I'm loving the size in the last couple of days that I've been using it, and it just looks really, really good, and I'm excited to keep using it. So let's now get into a mini comparison of this compared to my 12.9-inch and my other thoughts on it. Okay, so here we are. We're doing the top-down shot. So this is the iPad 11-inch, and then this is my 12.9-inch from 2021. As you see, thinness is very, very different, which is interesting. It does feel a lot lighter than your typical iPad, so that really, really helps. And the size comparison is not that big of a difference. When I'm using it, after using the 12.9-inch for so many years, I actually don't mind it. It doesn't seem like it's too small, but it's just enough space to see. The only thing is that the keyboard is obviously a lot smaller, so typing is a little bit harder, but overall I'm actually happy with it. First off, I want to mention is that they changed the camera. Instead of it's on the top, it is now on this side, which I don't really mind. I don't really do video calls on here, but I guess I can now. Another thing is the camera looks a lot more slimmer compared to before. So if you look at them together, it's not as thick as the older ones, so that's actually pretty good. So it doesn't have this little weird bump. It still has a bump, but it's not as big as the older ones. With 11-inch, you can definitely tell the screen is a lot better, because when I first started using it, it was like, wow, it's super clear, it looks super nice. Even though I've been staring at the 12.9-inch for a while now, because I do use it. Even though I don't bring it out, I do use it on my desktop as a second monitor. I usually watch some videos on there. I can move chat when I'm doing live videos or whatever on there, so that's why I do use it mostly every day, but I don't bring it out, which is mainly the reason for an iPad Pro. You spend $1,000 on it, not to just let it sit and let you watch videos or like do other things. You're supposed to bring it out. So there's that. First thing I want to talk about is the keyboard. I think what makes the setup heavy is the keyboard. Like the iPad itself, even the 12.9 inch isn't too heavy, but when you add the keyboard, it does add a lot of weight to it. For this newer keyboard, it's not completely white anymore. They have the silver aluminum, I guess is what it's called. When you put your hand on it, it can get a little cold at the same time, but I don't really mind it too much. Typing is a lot different than the old one. I feel like the typing is a lot more nicer. It kind of feels like the Magic Keyboard that they sell for your desktops. As for the older keyboard, it just felt more, I guess, like plasticky kind of typing, while this one feels a little bit more fluid. This is definitely a preference thing, and so far it's so good. We also have an upgrade with the pencil. I got the Pencil Pro because I wanted to test out the new features that they have, which is pressing this so that the menu will show up, so it's a lot easier and a lot quicker to use. Decided to pick this up because I just wanted to see how I like it. I do have the second one, but I think I'm going to keep this one because it just really helps with everything in general, and it has Find My. And the funny thing is, I had the second one twice. The one I currently have is the second one. I actually lost the first one, and I don't know where it went. Couldn't even figure out where it disappeared. Like, did I lose it somewhere? Like, I don't even know. Like, I couldn't even think of how it got lost. But this one has Find My now, so that's really good in my opinion, because when you put your Apple Pencil on, it always falls off really easily, especially when you have just the keyboard case, because it's not attached to anything. It's not secured at all. So I don't even know how I lost it. I felt like maybe it fell in one of my bags, but I checked all my bags, nothing's in there. So that is really good for that. So those are the accessories. So now let's talk about everything combined together. The main part of my video is sharing how I am unable to bring this out because of how heavy it can get. It's pretty much the same as my MacBook Pro, so I might as well just bring my MacBook Pro. So when I first got my 2021 iPad Pro 12.9 inch, that was mainly the goal. I wanted to have something smaller so that if I ever go to a cafe or if I'm traveling, I don't have to bring my full-on MacBook Pro. I am scared of losing the MacBook Pro. It is a special baby to me. There's a lot of files in there. It's just feels a lot more expensive, and it's just a little scary when you're traveling and you want to carry it wherever you go, and that's really hard because it's a heavy thing too. So when I got this, and it was pretty much the same thing, it's still pretty heavy, it's really big, so I ended up not using it as much as I thought I would. But now that I got the 11 inch, you can tell it's still pretty heavy because of the keyboard. I thought that the weight size would be really significant, and a lot lighter, but it's not too much lighter even with a smaller screen and smaller keyboard. So I can't imagine how a 13 inch would be. It will probably be a little bit lighter than this one, but still pretty heavy. In the beginning, I couldn't really tell the weight difference, but now that I'm carrying it differently, you can definitely tell, especially when I did bring the 11 inch out in my bag. It wasn't as heavy as if I brought the 12.9 inch, because I know my arm would hurt a lot, but with 11 inch it didn't hurt as much. So you can really tell the difference on a day-by-day basis, I guess. But if you are kind of feeling it like this, it doesn't really feel that much difference. Still feels pretty heavy, but after a couple of days of taking it out and just carrying it around with me, it does make a little difference. So there is that. So those are my main points I wanted to share. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I'll be glad to answer them. But so far I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Obviously I do wish that it was a lot thinner, especially the keyboard. The keyboard's what makes everything heavy. If you just carry the iPad itself, it's actually really light, which I really enjoy. So if you're looking to not use the keyboard and just, if you're an illustrator, if you just need it just in general, it's actually really really good. But if you're using it with a keyboard, you might have to consider that it's still a little bit heavy, but it's a lot better than before. But yeah, that is my kind of mini review on iPad Pro. If you do want me to do a 1 month later review, make sure to let me know in the comments and to like this video. So now that we went through everything, I'm going to be explaining what I'm planning to use this for. So on days where I'm either traveling or just want to go to a coffee shop to do a little bit of work and I don't want to bring my MacBook Pro, I'll definitely be bringing this. I can do quick tasks such as emails, my content planner on Rella, and even Notion. I'm also planning to get back into Final Cut Pro on the iPad, which I did use in the beginning when it first came out. At the time, I was at home a lot, so I decided to just continue using my computer. But there's also a lot of upgrades on Final Cut Pro, so I'm excited to test those out on the iPad. I can also even try editing my photos in here. I usually do super simple edits and then use a preset on top. So I'll definitely be trying the Lightroom on iPad Pro. Basically, I can do most of my work in the iPad. It's just I need to figure out how the storage stuff works because I only have the 256 gigs and I know you can put external hard drive now, so I feel like that might be a bonus. And other than that, obviously entertainment is super good on this. You have your Netflix, your gaming, your Disney Plus. So that's what I'll be using this for. And the thing that I won't be able to use on my iPad Pro is my design programs. Adobe's apps aren't really what I use it for. It's more for like illustration and stuff like that. So that stuff I'll just stick with my MacBook Pro. In my opinion, I feel like I can actually just use this if I am on the go and I don't want to do any design work. But other than that, that is my little review on my new iPad Pro. I'm so happy that I did this upgrade and I feel like I'm going to be using it a lot more. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do the 1 month later video, and I'll share more on that later on. But thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me at Life with Holly Lifestyles on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
You know I would. You and I loved so softly like